Hello everyone, I am Pete Inarato here today with Benny Pinella, the voice of the Rowan Profs. And as we take a look at this weekend's upcoming matchup between Rowan University and Morrisville State, Benny, we thank you for joining us today. And hey man, it's homecoming, as everyone knows. And we're playing a very tough team in Morrisville State. Mm-hmm. And Rowan, as of late, has been pretty decent. However, they are going up against a stud quarterback like Lamar Johnson is, if you follow this team, we all know he's one of the best in the league. And I want to ask you this because last homecoming, Benny, the Profs came up and they got blown out by 20 points. They let up 41. And I wanted to get your sentiment on the state of this team right now. Do you think they are improved enough to overcome that 20-point deficit that they lost last year?
Last time, yeah, you're right. Last time they played Morrisville, they lost by 20 points. Mm-hmm. This is a different team. In terms of defensively, Tyler Jenkins has taken the reins. He's their Dominic Caruso times 2. He's just such an amazing. He can pass defend. He can go into coverage. He can rush the quarterback. He can make sideline-to-sideline tackles. He's really their overall guy. A little bit more mobile than Caruso, I think. That's defensively. Offensively, this team, I don't know if they're better than last year. I know they're better than when they had Hammersma. But the thing is, Hammersma at least gave the potential to throw the ball. Now, I mean, the passing game's almost non-existent in terms of downfield. It wasn't great when you had Hammersma, but at least it was still an option. Now, in terms of this game, it's going to be an interesting game, Pete.
How are they going to win this game, Benny, if they cannot pass the ball? I know McCarty has thrown 6 interceptions in game 1. He hasn't thrown another one since, so they are taking care of the football. But how are they going to win this game against a team that's probably going to put a lot of points up on the board?
Well, Morrisville State, one thing they do well defensively is defend the pass. Mm-hmm. They're so dominant. They break up passes. They're great in coverage. They can man. They can zone you. They read the quarterback's reads very well. Don't pass rush that well. Mm-hmm. So there's one thing that the Profs can ease back on. Thing I'm nervous about for the Profs is you're right. The passing game's almost non-existent. Any kind of passing game, those bubble screens are not that easy anymore because you're taking on a Morrisville State defense that's very fast. I think the way the Profs are going to have to win this is they're going to have to dominate the run game and time of possession, because if you can kind of throw Lamar Johnson off his rhythm a little bit, I mean, it's just a matter of chipping points and taking the ball away from them. Mm-hmm. Now, sustaining drives is going to be a big deal because I don't think the Profs can do that well.
I find that's going to be incredibly tough, to get something going offensively, considering, Marshall's probably going to stack the box, Benny, if they're going to be expecting to run the entire time. They're going to have to develop some new types of plays, some packages that are going to be able to get some players out in space. And I know that the passing game hasn't been working out too well. But short yardage passing is McCarty's thing. Mm-hmm. How are they going to stretch the field? I really don't know. But at the same time, if you look at a team that's going to stack the box against you and you know that they're going to run the football, how do you overcome something like that as a football mind? I mean, do you throw some certain packages in there? Do the Profs have the personnel to do something like that?
I don't think they have the personnel to run a lot of trick plays. Mm-hmm. They don't have that William Patterson had this guy, Anthony DeMarsico, mm-hmm. who was a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, kick returner. You could do your taxes as well. He could do everything. The Profs really don't have that kind of guy. They have a lot of speedy wide receivers. They probably could do screens. That might be able to help them. It's not going to be easy. The intermediate routes are going to be, the focal point. But I think the way the Profs are going to have to attack Morrisville defensively is through a very, very dominant run game. They're going to stack the box. Morrisville's not that great against the run, but we don't know because, they played a lot of teams that have versatile offenses that can run and throw. SUNY Cortland, they can run and throw. Profs, they can't throw that well. They can only run the ball. They're the second best run offense in the NJAC. I've been looking for little tiny ways on how the Profs are going to win, and I played the schedule matchup game, and that's always a dangerous game to play. But Morrisville played SUNY Cortland, won by a touchdown. They played Kane, they barely won. Profs, we know they can beat Kane. They beat SUNY Cortland. They dominated SUNY Cortland. Mm-hmm. Going into this game, it's interesting because Morrisville hasn't really played anyone outside of the conference that's notable. They've played a lot of middle of the pack teams, not top 25. Prof played 2 top 25 teams. We look back at that Widener game. That's a game they probably weren't in, but they could have won if they tweaked some things offensively. So it's interesting. I mean, I've just been diving into props football this week, and I've been looking for any way. I'm confident in the props, but I'm not willing to bet on them just yet.
Give me some names of some players that are going to have breakout games if Rowan wants to come away with a win. We know that the defense has a few playmakers. I mean, there are multiple players on this defense that have at least one interception. I mean, it's showing you some versatility
Very
on the
good,
ends and, up the middle. I mean, they can pretty much stack the box there and defend the run decently well. But at the same time, you're really going to have some breakout games from a few players. Give me 3 or 4 names.
I'll say this. I'll say Yasim Rover, the backup running back.
Okay.
Him and Tobler. Tobler hasn't seen that many carries. Rover's the backup running back. Marcelin's going to get a ton of carries in this game. Running's going to be the way the profs are going to have to do this. They're going to need a good change of pace. Marcelin's that crash and dash. They need a guy that's just straight speed. Rover has speed, has a little bit of size, has a little bit of versatility to his game. I really like what he did against William Patterson. I'd like to see them give him the ball a little bit more, take the pressure off Marcelin. We'll see. So Rover's my first guy. My second guy on the offense is going to be the tight end, Matt Hughes. You're down your blocking tight end in Cullen McHugh. Hughes, he can block fairly well, but he's going to need to do some things in the passing game to stretch the field. He's going to need to take on more of a Brent Selleck role. If you remember the Eagles before Zach Ertz kind of took his role, Selleck was okay in the pass. So they're going to need kind of a good game out of him. The focal point's going to be defensively. Eddie Davis as their top corner, he's going to need to shut down Morrisville wide receiver Anthony Gray. They cannot afford to let him run all over you and Josh Powell. And then, of course, Kurt Kingett. This is going to be a game that's going to be highlighted by pass defense. The Profs can rush the quarterback very well. Chris Alvarez, Tyler Jenkins, I assume Will Flake's going to get a lot of shots in there. They're going to need a good game from Davis and Kingett. And Kingett, of course, has 3 interceptions.
3 interceptions, I was going to say. So let's see if you can get 4. Benny, give me your final prediction.
I'll say this. It's tough. I've been looking all over the place for edges. Profs are a more disciplined team than Morrisville. They commit less turnovers, better at rushing the pass. I want to say this is going to be a high-scoring game, but I don't know. This is the game that really scares me. Montclair doesn't scare me as much. We can beat Morrisville. I'm not worried about Montclair. If we can't beat Morrisville, I'm scared of Montclair. I'll say the Profs have a slight edge. If you had to ask me to give you a score,
field goal game,
I'd say it's even less than that. I'll say this game is going to come down to the wire. I think the team with the ball at the end is going to be the team that's going to win it. If Morrisville has the ball with the final couple of seconds left, I'll say 10 seconds, I don't think the Profs will be able to stop him. Lamar Johnson, he's just too good of a quarterback not to say they're not going to score at least 28 points. The Profs defense is going to need to tighten up. See, I'm just so uncomfortable trying to get a score in my head. I want to say like 30-28, and that may be pushing it a little bit.
We shall say it. I'm going to be honest with you. I got to take Morrisville 31-20. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for Rowan to win because I think they're predictable at this point. But listen, Benny, we got to go. We appreciate you stopping in and
it's always a pleasure
sharing some of your thoughts with us. Benny Pinella, the voice of the Rowan Profs. All right, thank you very much, Benny. Coming up next, we'll send it back to Chris and Maria at the desk.